In the last video on climbing Yushan, I talked you through the permit, preparation, and all the way up to Paiyun Lodge near Yushan's peak. Now I'm going to take you to two of Yushan's most wonderful peaks, West Peak and of course Main Peak. But first, let me show you around Paiyun Lodge, where we, and most other people heading up Yushan, will be staying for the night. When you arrive here, you should register with your permit, then collect your dinner coupons and sleeping bag if you ordered this. For this option, you need to have booked and paid in advance. I definitely recommend it as it makes for a much easier experience for you. It's a simple dining hall area with outside toilets and bunk bed rooms with about 20 people per room. There's also lots of place to store your bags. It can get noisy at night, so remember to bring earplugs. Although, thanks to the higher altitude, I didn't really sleep at all. But that's enough of Paiyun Lodge, as it's already past 3 PM now and we have to walk up to West Peak and back down before it gets dark, and hopefully catch the sunset at a good spot too. West Peak is located around 2 kilometers away from Paiyun Lodge. Although it remains at a similar altitude, there are lots of ups and downs, so it will take anything from 2 to 4 hours in a round trip. But unless you have to rush back, there's no reason to rush this one. It's absolutely beautiful. The West Peak Trail takes you through forest and alongside western mountain edges. It's less mapped out than the main trail, and there are some bits where you have to physically climb up and down, so it does get a little bit more technical here. Nevertheless, the hike was absolutely beautiful, and since I'd left my bag and most of my stuff at the lodge, it was a lot lighter, easier, and just generally good fun. And we finally reached the peak again. Time for another photo opportunity before we head back down to catch the sunset and get inside before it gets dark. There's also a shrine at the bottom of the West Peak here, but I wanted to get back for the sunset, so I didn't have time to stop off there. So after climbing up to our first Yushan peak, which was Xifang, the West Peak, we are currently heading back to the lodge where we are staying tonight. But probably the best thing about Xifang, the western peak, is that it is in the west and it gives a pretty killer sunset that we're just about to enjoy right now. I mean, look at that. Okay, so we made it back to Paiyun Lodge just before the sunset completely, so it's not so dark, and this is the lodge here behind me, and then here's the sunset. Not bad. Definitely glad I went to West Peak for this, and then also can see it here. The sunset in the mountains over the sea of clouds, combined with the lighting in the forest, was nothing other than magical, and I genuinely could have stayed there for hours. But it was pretty cold and getting dark very quickly, so back to the lodge in time for dinner and a very early sleep for a very early morning the following day. 2 a.m. after a night of terrible sleep, my heart beating like I was going for a jog and my blood oxygen pretty low, it's time to have breakfast and hit the trail again. I'm glad everyone else looks as tired as I feel. It is pitch black outside and the only light is from the full moon and the headlamps of everyone else making the journey up the peak for the sunrise. As you climb and look back, you can see spots from the head torches of other climbers. If you're super lucky and the sky is clear, you can see lights from the nearby city of Jiayi. The sunrise is around 6 a.m. and we wanted to make sure to get there with plenty of time to spare. Annoyingly though, we actually managed to be the first ones to hit the peak and got there very early. Here's a terrible photo to prove it. It was still pitch black by the time we got up, and we had to stand in the bitter -5 degrees Celsius cold in raging winds for about 2 hours whilst everyone else made the slow ascent. You cannot see me at all, but we just got to the top. I mean I kind of ran ahead and Leo was the first one. And more people as well. Gongxi. Despite the darkness, soon enough, the sky started to show its colours in all different shades. It felt like an eternity waiting for the sun to appear above the clouds and to warm us up a little bit. Safe to say, it was freezing, but totally worth it. 很漂亮. Starting to come up. It's very cold. Okay, you can start to see me now as the sun is rising. It's still going to be about 20 minutes. Look at how many people are here. There's a lot of people here up to see the sunrise at Yushan. It was only us two when we first got here, which was lovely. And now there is a lot more people. Still cold. The sun is still not risen. So just behind me, you can see that the sun is just poking its head out the clouds. Finally. slowly but surely starting to feel very, very tingly fingers and toes again. It's nice. Nice to have some feeling back, and nice to be able to see this view that we just climbed but couldn't see because it was pitch black. So this is the view that we just climbed. It's absolutely, let me zoom my camera out, absolutely gorgeous. And we made it back, the sweet side of home, kind of, and brunch should be waiting for us, as well as still a fantastic view. It was a slow descent back down to the lodge for some brunch of noodles, before we then started our main descent, all those 8.5 kilometers back down to the trail where we started our journey just yesterday. Okay, so unfortunately it is now time to say goodbye to Paiyun Lodge, which has housed us for the past kind of day and a half, and hello to the trail back down. It's been a really nice time. I can't believe the weather has been like this the whole time. It's quite ridiculous. It's still very cold, but I'm sure that as we get further down, I think we're still above 3,000 meters, so as we get further down, then it will get hopefully a lot warmer. I can start taking pieces of clothing off. But for now, it is goodbye Yushan, goodbye Lodge, and guess I'll see you next time. What goes up must come down, I suppose, although I'd have gladly stayed there for another night or two. Going down, the weather only seems to be getting better. I still can't believe how lucky we were over the whole 2 nights and 3 days to have such spectacular weather while standing at the top of Taiwan. An absolutely magical experience that certainly is tiring, but one that I would recommend and hope to repeat again. Yushan is not just one big mountain, like for example Mount Fuji in Japan. It's a mountain range with many peaks and places to explore. Halfway down, views keep getting better, and temperature keeps getting warmer. I hope to be back here soon to climb the rest of them. But for now, I definitely need some sleep. Okay, we've made it down. Got the shuttle bus. I am well and truly in my flip-flops carrying my wellies. Yes, I did the whole hike in my wellies. They're behind, dying, I don't know. But we're all here in one piece, and we're about to get a taxi back to the train station, back to reality, away from the mountains, and I think I'm sunburned. Anyway, Yushan, thanks for having us. Hope you enjoyed watching. said that you might end up back here. Just like magic, we are back in the room and clearly about to edit the video on Yushan. I hope you enjoyed the trip to Yushan. I hope it was useful. If you have any questions, comments, things like that, please do leave them in the comments below. I will try to reply to every single comment. And I want to thank my patrons as well. Thank you so much for supporting me this whole time. It's been over a year I've had my patrons, and it's just incredible to have the constant support. Even though this channel is not really what I wanted it to be at the beginning, it's still evolving, it's still developing, and I'm really thankful for all of your support. So thanks guys so much, and get ready for the next video next week. I don't know where I'm going to take you yet, but it's going to be another pretty place. Thanks, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.